Hey guys, wait. Take two. Hey. By the time you see this, this took place just hours before. Not even. Maybe like 2 hours before. Because I just didn't film yet today, and it's currently 6:30 p.m. on the 17th of January. And I just couldn't do it. I'm so introverted to film every day. Did that make sense? I'm too introverted to film every day, is what I meant. But I don't know. I'm confused. You know, my brother's a writer, and he always said, he's like, you should do it every day. Whatever you want to do, you should do it every single day. Even if you don't want to, even if it's hard, even if, like, he's a writer, and he's like, his big advice is to write every single day. And he does. He's like, whether it's for a little bit, for a long time, whether you just sit and stare at the page for hours. He's like, you should write every single day to be good at it and to stay motivated. And so when I told him that I was filming every single day, he was like, that's good. And I'm like, is it? Is it? Is it just exhausting me to the point where I can't even be creative anymore? Or is it strengthening a muscle to get me in the habit of doing something every day? Because I'll be quite honest, I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to open my mouth for the rest of the night. But yeah, I guess, I mean, that's just the way it is, right? Sometimes it'll be creative and interesting, and sometimes it'll just be me talking about how I'm not creative or interesting. Somebody DM'd me today. I get DMs from time to time. Not from boys. Not from hot men, unfortunately. From subscribers telling me that they like me. And it was really nice, and she called me very... should I shout her out? B.Bex. Thank you if you're watching. She said that I'm super intelligent and funny and genuine. And I really needed to hear that today, because I was literally sitting in my car like, you are a talentless hack. And then I read that DM, and you know, I didn't immediately, like, I'd be lying if I was like, and then I felt I had purpose, and you know, suddenly I felt inspired. That's, no, I wish that was the case, but it did kind of make me think, okay, maybe we're our own worst critic. And I'm not talking about the trolls that are likely gonna comment and be like, be more interesting. Like, why don't you be more interesting? Because you're sitting at home watching my dumbass videos not being interesting, but you've nothing better to do than watch my not interesting videos. Talk about not being interesting. Anyway, I'm making a baked potato. Not a baked potato, a sweet potato, because I'm not allowed to eat baked potatoes. I'm allowed to eat sweet potatoes, and it's in the microwave because your girl doesn't give a shit, and she's just got to get food in her belly. Yeah, I feel like a talentless hack, to be honest. Recently, I was reading a post where someone was like, you know, YouTube used to be about where the nobody kids with a lot of talent could, you know, use it as a platform to be heard and seen, and now it's just filled with vloggers who have no talent, and they're just walking around with millions of subscribers. Now granted, I don't have millions of subscribers, so maybe they're not talking about somebody like me, but I don't necessarily think everything I do has talent. Do I think I'm talented? Sometimes. I think I have the potential. Maybe I think it's in there somewhere. But I don't know. Anyway, some of you have asked what I've been reading lately. Actually, a lot of you have asked. You said, you know, you wanted to know, do you like my shirt? I feel like people are gonna comment. I don't want to post it in the description, so I'm just gonna tell you now. It's from Forever 21. Thank you. I just like them because I don't have to wear a bra. Maybe you should wear a bra, however, I don't wear one. And anytime I can get away with not wearing one, I will do it. I will push the limits. So yeah, a couple of you guys have been asking what I've been reading, or what I like to read. You guys seem very interested in that. I go off and on with reading. I do collect a lot of books because I love reading. However, I choose to not read too often, and that's something I've been changing. I've been going to bed, instead of watching Netflix to fall asleep, I've been reading and like putting my computer away and reading to fall asleep. And not everything I read is like, you know, amazing or super genius. Like, I'm not sitting here like, oh, I fall asleep reading. I read The Fountainhead. I read a chapter every single night. Like, no, I've not even read this yet. I bought it because I buy a lot of books that I want to eventually read but have not yet read, and I've collected them and then I get overwhelmed. Anyway, what I just finished reading is Amy Schumer. I just finished this last night, and I have a love-hate relationship for Amy Schumer. I really like her. I think she's funny. Obviously, she's really funny and talented. However, she's not an intersectional feminist, and if you don't know what that is, you should Google it. She's not an intersectional feminist, and I really have a hard time defending her. What the fuck is that? Anyway, but I bought this book because I heard that it was funny, and I like funny things, and also it's autobiographical, and I really like autobiographies by women, and creative women especially. I guess if you're writing, you're creative, but I have interest in possibly writing something like a memoir, which leads me to this. No, not this one. Which leads me to this. I haven't read yet, but I bought this, and it's The Art of Memoir by Mary Karr. Hey, Wizard! My brother recommended that to me, so I ordered that. He also recommended this book, which I'm currently reading. I started it last night after finishing Amy Schumer, and it's The War of Art. Break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. God knows I need everything that's in here. God knows it. It's a really easy, quick read. It's basically mostly about how resistance is the devil's spawn, and it will sabotage you at every turn. And it's very true. It's very true. It's basically about putting things off and letting your negativity and every other excuse in the book keep you from actually doing something, which is classic me. And that's a habit I'm trying to break out of. I'm getting really serious about that this year. I really just want to kind of unleash this artist in me. I know that sounds so stupid, but I do. I always felt like I was artistic and creative in some way. I never felt like I was cut out for a regular job. I don't think I'd be good at it. So yeah, I think resistance has been my biggest downfall, and that's what I'm trying to break out of. Anyway, my brother recommended this also, Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear. And so those are, oh, I also have this. I really like self-help books. I think it's like really cheap therapy. And also, like, sometimes I really like to I like to read something, think about it, read it again, think about it, and let it resonate for a couple days. Whereas like in therapy, I don't know, like, not knocking therapy, like therapy is really good, but I don't know, reading's like a whole different kind of therapy. So I got this, You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. I haven't opened that yet. I have a lot of, this one's about OCD and panic. Just something that I like to keep books like that around, just if I ever need to refer to it. I bought this one, Leave Your Mark, although this one didn't really apply to me. I have a weird thing with my like OCD where I have to read a book cover to cover, otherwise I feel like it's not finished. I mean, it's not finished, but like I feel like something's unfinished in my brain. However, this one I decided, I was recently, again, my brother, he imparts much wisdom on me, was telling me that he's like, you know, I used to be like that, and I realized if I don't like a book, if I don't feel compelled to finish it, I won't, and I'll just move on to the next book, because if you get to a point where you are struggling to finish a book, you just won't pick it up, and then you won't read any book. And so I'm like, okay, so I just skimmed through. It's about like kill it in your career, rock social media, blah, blah, blah. I thought this would be good because it's about like owning your brand and blah, blah, blah. I kind of picked what I wanted out of that, and the rest was not really important. Didn't oh, this is a book I haven't finished yet, but I really actually love, and I need to finish it. And this is called A Wilderness of Error, and this is by Errol Morris. He's a famous documentarian. Is that a word? Anyway, it's about like murder and stuff. It's like true crime. I really, really love true crime. So I will read true crime any chance I get, which brings me to another one I'm just about finished, but I haven't finished yet, and this is called People Who Eat Darkness. I've now finding that I pick up and don't finish a lot of books. People Who Eat Darkness, and this is another true crime book. I have Girl on a Train, which I bought immediately when the movie came out because I really wanted to read the book first. I haven't seen the movie, and I haven't even opened this yet, but I will eventually. Oh, I have Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This is an old classic, which I picked up because I was like, this is important. And then I read it and realized maybe a little sexist. So stopped reading that. One of my favorite books, a book that really, really, I mean, Gone Girl. I loved this book so much I couldn't put it down. I mean, once you get, it has a slow start. Once you get to that point where you're like, oh my God, which is like, I would say a quarter of the way in, it was like, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. Like, I would be falling asleep and I'd be like, I just couldn't stop. If you guys have seen the movie, read the book, I thought the movie was really good. However, the book is always 10 times better. Really, really, really good. That chapter of Cool Girls, if you guys know what I'm talking about, Cool Girl. They kind of touched on it a little bit in the movie, but again, with a funny memoir. This was years ago I got this. Rob Delaney's book. He talks about just like funny stories. I really like this type of memoir. This is something I kind of picture myself writing, where it's like each chapter is just like different stories and they all kind of lead to how they became who they are. But they kind of put it in like a funny spin on it. He also talks a lot about mental illness, which I respect. You know, he suffered from depression and addiction, and I didn't know that about him, and so that was very interesting and made me really like him a lot. Oh, I have a lot of like serial killer books. Killers at Large. Oh, I have Contract Law for Dummies. So don't even try and give me a contract. Like, you don't think I know. You don't think I know what I'm talking about. Oh, I have Emma by Jane Austen, which I haven't read yet, but I bought this because it's what Clueless was based off of. So Clueless is my favorite movie ever, so I have to read that eventually. I also like to I missed a lot of high school because of my anxiety, so a lot of books that like people have read, but they're like, oh, I read that book in high school, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't have a lot of those because I missed a lot of school. So I feel like, you know, I want to be able to know, I want to be able to say I read those books, you know? So I read Lord of the Flies like years ago. I read Lord of the Flies years ago. That's a good book. I also read Catcher in the Rye because everybody reads that in high school too. I might be the only one who's ever said this in the world, but I was not a fan. Everybody's like, oh my God, that book changed my life. I don't know. It didn't change my life. I read it and I was like entertained, but then I was kind of like, I want this to be over. In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. Haven't read that, but you know how I am about murder and stuff, so. Or you do now. To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah, I haven't read that. I know. I missed a lot of school, you guys. In a way, does it make me smarter to have missed so much school, but also be like smart? Something to think about. Oh, Anne Rule, The Stranger Beside Me. This was good. This is about Ted Bundy. Black Against Empire. The History and Politics of the Black Panther Party. The New Jim Crow. Gotta educate yourself. And I'm not even joking when I say that. I feel like everything I say sounds like a joke, but it's not. Like, you gotta educate yourself. God, I have like so many random books. Anyway, that's what I'm reading now. I think the next book that I'm gonna start reading, like story-wise, like I'm gonna finish, you know what, right now I'm just really interested in reading like these books about kind of like writing and breaking through your creative barriers or whatever the hell, because those are going to be really helpful to me right now, the most helpful. And then what else are you guys asking? You're asking me what music I listen to. I think I have a playlist on Spotify. I don't want to link my Spotify just because like I get like weirded out if I know that people are listening, like knowing what I'm listening to. Okay, sorry, my microwave is going off. And I'm trying to make myself dinner so I don't like starve to death. I think I need to microwave this a little bit more. But let me see, I have like a playlist in here that's my Never Skip, and I can read it to you. Never Skip, The Promise, When in Rome, All My Life by Casey and JoJo, Call Your Girlfriend by Robin. These are my Never Skip songs. Like they come on and it's like, we're not skipping. With or Without You by U2, Groovy Kind of Love by Phil Collins. These are some of the most romantic songs I've ever heard. Like these are like Kiss Me in the Rain kind of songs. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Like a Prayer by Madonna. Okay, so these are mostly 80s songs. I really love 80s music, but I'm not like, I only listen to 80s. Haley. Like a Prayer by Madonna. Did I say that already? I Was a Fool by Tegan and Sara. Tegan and Sara like transports me back to my 16-year-old angsty teen self, which I still secretly am, not so secretly. And then How You Gonna Act Like That by Tyrese. Let me see. What did I listen to today? Today I listened to, I went too far, oh no wait. Today I listened to Swim Good by Frank Ocean. I listened to Hold Me by Janine. Wow, that song's touching. What else? Oh my god, I really love rap music. Like I really love Kanye West. Life of Pablo was one of my favorite albums ever. Like maybe my favorite album ever, like hands down, because if we're going in terms of like I'm kind of like, I pick and choose like different, like a couple songs from like different albums. Like I've never like loved an album all the way through. It's very rare. That song, that album I can listen to all the way through and I love it. Like I don't really want to skip any song. There are obviously songs I like better than others, but it's like just, I went to that concert this year and I don't normally like concerts just because like they're loud and they're crowded and I don't always like all the songs. So you're just like, for a while you're standing there like, okay, like when are they gonna play the hits? Like when are they gonna play my song? That's like, was so fun for me because I literally loved every single song he played. So that was fun. Except I got in a car accident on the way back, so that was actually scary. But it didn't put a damper on the night too bad. I know where they get the saying hot potato, because I can't hold this. It's very hot. Yeah, so that's what I listened to. It's always different. It's always different. I do that thing that Charles pointed out. Now I notice it all the time. Now I notice it all the time. Now I notice it all the time. I'm drinking White Girl Rosé, which is so, like don't even get me started how basic this is right now. White Girl Rosé. However, I think it's by the girls who made Babe Walker, which is an Instagram account. Let me just double check on that fact right now. Because if it's the Babe Walker people, I love that Instagram account. and maybe this isn't that basic. Either way, I'm a white girl and I like rosé, so get at me. Yeah, it's the same people. But it's just really cute. I just like the bottle. I don't really love this rosé, I'll be totally honest. However, it's my second bottle that I bought because I just think it's cute. It was made for a millennial biatch like me, and but it's a little too sweet. I like mine a little drier. But gets the job done. What else? You did not ask me what wine I drink. Why did I start talking about this? But yeah, that's what I listened to. That's what I listened to. Oh, I'm going to Sundance this weekend for my brother's premiere. Oh my god. I'm so excited. My whole family's gonna be there. How cute is this? So my dad, this is such a dad thing. I just tweeted this out tonight that I'm like, when your dad does something, so like a dad thing for you when you're an adult. And it's so sweet. Okay, so my dad so we're all meeting in Salt Lake City, obviously. That's where Sundance is. And we're all flying, like some of us are flying from the West Coast, like me and Matt. And then my other brother and my mom and dad are flying from the East Coast. And so we're like, me and my dad are both getting in tomorrow afternoon, or not tomorrow. What the fuck? What's today? Friday afternoon. And my dad was like, well, what time are you getting in? And I'm getting in like hours after him, like 2 hours after. And he was like, well, I'll wait for you. How are you gonna get there? How are you gonna get to, we're not even staying at the same place. Like he's staying at a hotel by the airport and I'm staying closer to Park City where the festival is with my mom. And my dad's like, well, how are you gonna get there? And I was like, Uber. He's like, won't it be expensive? And I'm like, yeah, probably. Like, I don't know, like, but what am I supposed to do? And he's like, well, I'll wait. So my dad's like, he's waiting for me at the airport so that he can Uber with me to my mom's. I was just like, when your dad does something that's like such a dad thing, even though, ow, fuck, don't touch a potato when it's hot. Even though you're like almost 27 years old. And he's like, well, how are you gonna pay for this? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I pay for anything else. Reluctantly. And I just thought that was sweet. And I'm so excited to see my family. And I'm so excited to see Ingrid Goes West premiere at Sundance. I've already seen 2 cuts. I've seen he did a couple screenings here just for like friends and family, like to kind of get like an opinion, and then as they're editing the film, things like that. So I've seen 2, one on my laptop and one on like in a screening room. So it's kind of a big screen but not like super big. This is going to be huge, and it's sold out. It's sold out. The premiere sold out. My family, like, we're trying to get like more tickets, and it like sold out in front of their face. So like, I'm ecstatic. My brother's really nervous but excited, and so I'm excited for him, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. So that is where I'll be vlogging this weekend. I don't know, like I'm like asked my mom tonight, I'm like, what's gonna be the Wi-Fi sitch? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, so I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm gonna still plan on, I'm gonna be vlogging the whole time I'm there, but I'm gonna plan on still doing the daily uploads. However, if I run into some sort of issue, I will keep you guys posted on Twitter. So make sure you follow me on Twits, okay? Everything's in the description. All right, so I'm gonna go because I need to upload this, but I don't know. Let me know, was that so bad? Like, I mean, I didn't really exhibit any talent. I didn't like twirl a baton. No, that was in the other video with Charles. But I did make a potato. I cooked a potato in the microwave. That's gotta count for something. I know you guys always say, like, you're like, you look at the monitor. I do. I look at the monitor because when I don't, I'm always like this, and you guys are like, hello, and I'm like, oh, sorry. I forgot. Also, I think this looks creepy. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow.